feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright, echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, how are you? Oh, are we looking very festive today on the channel? We have, hey, there's some mushrooms there. They obviously know this channel very well, having mushrooms in the border here. It's like it was made for this channel. Good to see you all. Great to be back. We got a lot of stories to catch up on, but I want to bring you one from Australia first up tonight. You have to ask what is wrong with people, and I think that's a repeated message that we've had on this channel over and over and over again. And I want to talk to you about this guy. Now, Arnie, the German Shepherd. It's a dog. So this guy said that apparently he had left the dog in his truck, ute, whatever word you want to call it, and the car got stolen. And they're like, "Oh my god, the dog. Oh, what's going to happen? We got to find it. It had a live animal in the car when it was stolen." Police later find out the car wasn't stolen at all, that the guy had left the dog in the car and the dog was dead. So, from being left in the car, the dog died. They're saying an owner of a dog that died after it was reportedly kidnapped during a car theft has been charged by detectives in a major twist in the case. They're saying Arnie, the German Shepherd, was said to have been sleeping in his owner Nathan's ute when the vehicle was reportedly stolen outside a Wynnum home in Brisbane's east between 1:30 a.m. and 5 a.m. on November 8. It sparked a frantic week-long search to find Arnie, with his desperate owners launching a viral social media campaign offering a $6,000 reward. And here is Arnie, the German Shepherd, right there. And it's saying here, the owner of the vehicle has assisted police with their investigations. It has now been established that a criminal offense of unlawful use of a motor vehicle has not occurred. It will be alleged shortly after 10:30 p.m. on November 7, the male owner drove the vehicle into Amelia Street in Fortitude Valley and left the vehicle on foot. It will be further alleged that Arnie was left inside the vehicle. And so he's saying he's left the dog inside the ute. And they're saying that now the dog's owner has been charged with one count of breach of duty of care of an animal by failing to provide under the Animal Protection Act. And that on November 8, he allegedly told his partner Louise that the ute had been stolen and she filed the police report, not him. Police will allege that his partner had no idea the vehicle had not been stolen. The male owner is expected to appear before a Brisbane court next month. So he basically killed his own dog. Started a giant social media campaign because his partner was trying to do the right thing and get the dog back. And it was this scumbag all along. Now he's been charged with animal cruelty and he'll have to face a court. I think it was a cover up to cover the death of the animal is what I'm guessing. So yeah, how sad that Arnie the German Shepherd, and the original story was the dog was sleeping in the vehicle when the car was reportedly stolen. And now they're saying that it was never stolen. He left the car there with the dog inside of it, and that the dog died in the vehicle. I don't think we know the rest of the story right now. Just that, yeah. So they're saying, unfortunately, there isn't a better outcome, and Arnie was found deceased, still in the back of the ute. They say that was stolen, but the vehicle was never stolen. So the poor dog died in the back of its owner's vehicle, and there's a photo of him. There's a big German Shepherd, poor doggy. People who treat animals like that are, they deserve the charges. They deserve more than that. Sean says maybe he couldn't bear to tell his wife. Maybe. I don't know. She's the one who reported the theft of the vehicle to authorities. So maybe. But it sounds like he was undone by his own wife. Because if she had never done the police report, no one would ever know about the dog. So Kim says, I'd be pissed if my hubby killed my puppy. I know, right? Look at that. Nice dog. Very nice looking animal. Um, so they're also saying here that he also wasted police resources because Queensland police said they took sightings of Arnie around Brisbane very seriously, and they went out to check it all out, see if they could find the dog anywhere in Brisbane, and so he also wasted a lot of police time as well. I'm just trying to find out here if there's any further details about the owner. So here's a poster that they originally made back when this first happened, and they were trying to offer a $6,000 reward for information about the dog. And all along, the husband knew what had happened to Arnie. I think that is, if you're Louise, which is his partner, I don't know if there's any explaining he could do to get her back on side. I mean, look at what he's done very publicly. Basically, treated her like a fool. Treated her like a fool. Yeah. So the dog was found dead inside the ute on November 17, a few days ago, in Amelia Street in the heart of the city's nightlife hub. So the car never moved from where he put it, and the dog died in the back of it. Why he never told where the vehicle was, I have no idea. Has not occurred. Yeah, I don't understand. It will be alleged that after 10:30 p.m. on November 7, the male owner drove the vehicle into Amelia Street in Fortitude Valley and left the vehicle on foot. It will be further alleged that Arnie was left inside the vehicle. They then found the vehicle and the dog 10 days later. Why? I think you have to ask why. Was he covering up that he went out clubbing with his friends? Like, if you don't know Fortitude Valley in Brisbane, Fortitude Valley is like a big nightclub, nightlife type of area in Brisbane. I just don't know why he would do this. Why not just go get the car and take it home? Why not check on the dog in those 10 days? You could have kept it alive. I don't really understand. I think he may have been trying to cover up that he was out partying with his buddies when maybe he told the wife or something he wasn't there. I Hear Mining said, would a conviction prevent further animal ownership? It could. It could. I don't know the laws in Queensland surrounding animal crimes, but some places in Australia, any crime against animals can preclude ownership of animals for a period of time. So I don't know if Queensland's the same. Betsy said maybe he was jealous of the dog. There are men like that. I don't know. It seems very odd. Yeah, Queensland police announced they will allege the car was not stolen and the owner had left the dog in the ute in the Fortitude Valley. Why? I think that's the big question we're all going to have is why? Why would you just leave the dog there? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm just trying to find a little bit more here about if there's any reason why he wouldn't just rescue the animal. Hmm. I can't find any reason why he would do it. Yeah. Hey, go away. All right. Let me see if I can find anything. Dog was lost. Yeah, I don't see any kind of reason. Apparently, police allege that he drove the car to Amelia Street in Fortitude Valley about 10:30 p.m. on November 7 before leaving on foot with Arnie still inside the car. What day was November 7? It was a Friday. Friday at 10:30 p.m. What would you be doing on Friday at 10:30 p.m. in a nightclub district in Brisbane? He's probably gone out partying. That's what, yeah, I think so. I think maybe the wife didn't know that's where he was. And yeah, it definitely sounds like that could be it because November 7 was a Friday. Yeah. And then he told his wife was reportedly stolen outside a Wynnum home in Brisbane's east between 1:30 a.m. and 5 a.m. Yeah, okay. It definitely sounds like he maybe came home late or something and told her a bunch of malarkey. Rachel said, I think he may have been covering up the dog passed away in the car. No, but like, why was he there in the first place? And why did the dog have to stay in the car? Not why did the dog die? We know why the dog died because it was left in the car, but like, sort of, why did it have to stay in the car? Why didn't he just take it home? Like, that's the questions that I sort of. You mean it passed away like earlier in the day? I mean, maybe. It's a bit strange. It's a bit strange. But look, Fortitude Valley definitely is a very big nightclub district. It's I mean, when I lived in Brisbane, I went to Fortitude Valley, went out partying and things like that. So that would be my first thought. But hey, the dog died for no reason, and this guy going home and lying to his partner is stupid. Here's a photo of him looking all sad about the dog. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be. I think he's going to be very sad that he has to go to court for hurting an animal. Don't think he's that sad that his fake story didn't hold up. Look at that! Look at that photo. Look how fake sad he is. In the dictionary, they should have like a photo of him where it's like fake sad. This direction. That's him. Wait, this way. That's him. That is a put on face, like when a kid is caught lying. That is the face you see right there. Yeah, he probably pissed that all the media's on him. But yeah, look, hey, an 8-year-old German Shepherd has died, and that is very sad. So apparently, he said he had the 8-year-old German Shepherd with him when he dropped in to visit friends on Davidson Street in Wynnum on November 8th. Oh, really? Really? So, where is Wynnum compared to Fortitude Valley? Fortitude, yeah, let's have a look. It's like 20 kilometers away. It's not close. It's about a half an hour drive away. Something tells me, yes, definitely now I believe he was lying to his partner about what he was doing that night. So I don't think he was out visiting friends in Wynnum. Sounds like he was off partying in the Fortitude Valley. That's exactly what was going on. Because Wynnum ain't close. That area is not even close to the Fortitude Valley. So yeah, I think we figured it out. The guy lied to his partner to continue up and continue the lie about what he was doing that night. He's left the dog in the car and then told her it was stolen so that when they found it in the Fortitude Valley, he had plausible deniability to say, oh, that's where the thief must have locked it left the dog in it, and parked it very neatly. I mean, yeah, he just forgot that in Fortitude Valley, there is a ton of CCTV cameras, like an absolute ton of them. And he would have been caught on those cameras, which he was, dumping the vehicle with the dog in it. So he can go straight to jail. I hate people who hurt animals, and even more so, people who hurt animals for dumb reasons, like so he can go partying on the town with his buddies on a Friday night. Just take the dog home. Miss out on a night with your friends at a strip club because you're a responsible pet owner. That's it. Sometimes things are bigger than you. Sometimes things are bigger than what you want to do. And that's how you be an adult in life. I'm surprised this guy does he have children? Because I'm surprised if yeah, apparently he does. I'm surprised. I'm guessing the female in the relationship takes care of the child because he can barely take care of a dog and make the right decisions for an animal. So this guy can straight to jail for him. If we had the spicy chair here in Australia, I would vote that he should go there too, but we do not. We don't. We should, for people who hurt animals, children, and DV against women and men, they should go straight to the spicy injection as well. It's just not on. So there you go. Here's your public. This is what you wanted. You know, you wanted your 15 minutes of fame. Nathan McKeown. How do you pronounce his name? I'm just gonna call him Nathan. Nathan the dog killer. That's that. There you go. There's a catchy name for your Instagram. Nathan the dog killer, animal abuser. There you go. There's something you can be proud of, Nathan. Um, we'll see what happens. He's due in court later this month, and I'll tell you what happens with him when he gets to a courthouse. But right now, he's not due in court until later next month. Yeah, let me have a look. When is he due in court? I think we said it. Yeah, next month. He's not due in court until next month. I'll let you know what happens, and we will see. Here's another photo of him with the dog and a young child. There you go. Another photo of him. Nice border. You like the Thanksgiving border? It's pretty cool, hey? By the way, we have updated our ending video, and I did it. I did it for Bonnie Lee. Bonnie Lee hated the old music of our ending video. She said it wakes her up at night. So one person complained, so I got our video girl to change the entire thing, put in new music. We had to find rights-free music, which is not easy to do. You have to get ones that won't get copyright claimed. And we've got brand new music. We've updated the names in it for the people who have been supporting the channel. And hopefully it won't wake you up. Hopefully it won't wake you up this time. It's different music, a little more chill, and hopefully Bonnie Lee won't get woken up in the middle of the night anymore. Diane Marie says the new border is really cute. You like it? It's pretty cool. What else do we have? We got what's this? What is that? I don't. What is that? Like cakes and here. How do we? I think that's a different one. What's this? Oh, we've got other Thanksgiving type things. Oh, I kind of like the purple. That looks pretty cool. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna. What's this one? Oh, like a pumpkin garden. Okay. Yeah. There we go. I think I'm gonna keep the purple. Yeah, we've got these cool themes or whatever they've given us. I don't remember how to get back the one we do have. I clicked on it when we came in, and then oh, it's up here. Yeah, look, Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. What's this? There you go. A turkey in the corner. A turkey. There you go. Gobble, gobble. Got these turkeys. Happy Thanksgiving. I like this one with the pumpkins and the mushrooms. There you go. This was the first time I've ever seen them for StreamYard. I don't think they did them last year. I don't think they've done them before, but it's pretty good. I like it. I like it. It's very festive. It's very holiday. I like the holidays. Ping likes the holidays. All right. We're done with that story. I want to take you to a story from actually this is from Sean, but this is a story that I've been keeping an eye on too. So I told you about Rosemary Brown and Melissa Trussell a while ago and how it's sort of like a cold case and they've been doing new searches. And if you don't know what it is, Rosemary Brown and the murder of her 15-year-old daughter, Melissa. So it's mother and daughter. They've found one of their remains, but not the other. And they're looking for the daughter. They're looking for the daughter, Melissa. Melissa's body has never been found. Rosemary's body was found in the year 2000 in mangroves at Garden Island in South Australia. And there's been like a renewed search. But one of the big things that came out, they don't think it's one person. They think it's multiple people who are involved in the murder of both of these women. More than one person, which is it's really shocking. It really is. I'd heard things over the years that they thought more than one person knew about it, but not that more than one person was directly involved. So I'm going to try bring you the South Australian Police. Yep, here we go. That's not the right one. Yeah, that's not the right one. Yes, here we go. I'm going to take you to South Australian Police for their update. If we can get it going, there we go.
Today I want to provide an update in relation to the investigation into the murder of Rosemary Brown and her daughter Melissa Trussell, who were last seen leaving their Blair Athol address on the 13th of May in the year 2000. South Australia Police and Rosemary and Melissa's family are very grateful for those people who have come forward and provided information which has been able to progress the investigation up to this point. Police, however, are aware that there are members of the public and other people who have information about the murder of Rosemary and the likely murder of Melissa who have not come forward and provided information. We strongly encourage those people to come forward. Can I remind people, this is the murder of a mother and the suspected murder of her 15-year-old daughter, Melissa. If you put yourself in the shoes of both Rosemary and Melissa's family, you too would want answers around what has happened to them. So we strongly encourage people who have information to come forward and provide that to investigators. You can ring Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000 and you can remain anonymous. It is very important to us. During the investigation, detectives have actually identified suspects in relation to this matter. As a result, we have searched 2 homes connected with at least one of those suspects. Detectives believe there's actually more than one person involved in the murder of Rosemary and Melissa. Anybody, no matter what role they may have played in this incident, no matter how small or how significant it might have been, we ask you to come forward. Now is the time to do that. Before, you can't control what happens. Now is the time for you to come forward and speak to police.
That really felt like they were directly talking to someone, like someone they had maybe already spoken to, or someone they know's involved, but they can't quite get there. And it feels like a direct plea, like, hey, we're going to move on this shortly. Either you can be a part of the arrest or you can be a witness for us. Like, you can come and tell us what you know, and we may be able to give you a deal. It definitely feels like they're sort of really close to doing this and solving it. It's like they're missing a small part of the puzzle to make it happen, and they're appealing for one or more individuals to come forward and tell what is known. This is the first time I've heard them say that they think there is directly more than one person. I know, like I said earlier, that they've mentioned over the years, they're like, oh, there could be a few different people involved or may know of it, but they've never said directly. So this is the first time that I've ever heard that. Possibly. Well, there's two people, a mother and daughter, missing in this one. Happened in the year 2000. Melissa and Rosemary. Rosemary was 33 at the time. Melissa was 15. Last seen at Blair Athol around 2:30 a.m. on the 13th of May in the year 2000. And they're saying here that Rosemary's handbag was discovered later that day in Sterling Street, Northfield. It was not handed in to police until the 23rd of May in the year 2000 after a public appeal about the missing women. On Sunday, the 2nd of July in the year 2000, Rosemary's body was discovered in mangroves at Garden Island, but Melissa has never been located. So in the last, 25 years, they've not been able to locate what happened to the daughter. They're both are believed to be dead, not alive. Well, they've found mum's body, but not the daughter, and they believe her to be deceased as well. And it's been a long lingering crime in SA. It's been one of those crimes that you kind of hear about and you're like, oh, it's almost like a urban legend in a way. You're like, yeah, one day we'll hear if they ever figure it out. But it's sort of lingered in the background of people in South Australia, but also Australia wide. It's one of those cases that you really want to see resolved. So here, let me play the rest of it.
During the investigation, we've also seized a number of items and a number of exhibits as a result of those searches. One of those items is a knife. That item or that knife is currently being subjected to DNA testing at Forensic Science SA, which we're hoping will provide further information in relation to this investigation and also further information in relation to the suspects that we're looking at. The investigation has also led to searches in the Garden Island and Osborne area. Those searches were finalised today. You would be aware that a previous search in the Garden Island area identified a vehicle that had been submerged. We have been able to discount that vehicle as being involved in this investigation. During the investigation, we've also identified two vehicles of interest, and I've previously spoken about those vehicles. They are a brown and Ford coloured Holden VB Commodore sedan.
Yeah, I'll show you a photo of the vehicles that he's talking about. Give me a second. These are the vehicles that he's mentioning right now. These are the two vehicles that they'd like more information about. If anyone saw them around that area at the time or knows who might have owned them, saw them doing something at the time, they want more information on where these vehicles might be today, what happened to them back then, and just anything about them at all. Here, I'll play so you've seen the photos. He'll go back to describing a bit more about them.
We know that vehicle was spray painted black around the time of the disappearance, and that vehicle has since been sold and disposed of. The other vehicle is a blue XD Ford Falcon sedan. That vehicle was seen by witnesses in the Osborne area around the time of the disappearance of Rosemary and Melissa, but before Rosemary's body had been located. Again, we are seeking the whereabouts of these vehicles, particularly the blue Ford, and anybody who has information about where that vehicle might be or has any information about that particular vehicle. Again, we strongly encourage you to contact police via Crime Stoppers. It's timely to remind people now that there is a reward that is in place in relation to this particular investigation. There's up to a $1 million reward for information that might lead to the conviction of the person involved in the murder of Melissa Trussell or leading to the location of her remains. In relation to Rosemary, there is up to a $200,000 reward for information that will lead to the conviction of people involved in the murder, in her murder. These are life-changing amounts of money.
So we've spoken about this before. These big $1 million rewards that happen in Australia, sometimes in Sydney, sometimes in Victoria, sometimes in SA or Adelaide, and they're these huge rewards, and they often go to cases that are a little bit stuck. They go to these big cases where they think they can get a result, but they need more help. And this is one of them. They really, really want to find where Melissa is located, and they want to do it as soon as possible. So $1 million, like he says, life-changing money if you can tell them where Melissa is located. That's what they want to know. $1 million will be paid to anyone who provides information and assistance that leads to the conviction of the person or persons responsible for the suspected murder of Melissa and or leading to the location and recovery of her remains. $200,000 will be paid to anyone who provides information and assistance that leads to the conviction of the person or persons responsible for the suspected murder of her mother, Rosemary Brown. So they are $1.2 million of information that someone could claim, considering they reckon both of these happened together. You could claim 1.2 million. I think combined, it's the largest reward offered for a single case in Australia. $1.2 million. That's a ton of money. It could change someone's life. 25 years. Allegiances change. People aren't friends anymore. Divorces happen. You don't like that guy anymore. You don't like that woman anymore. You don't care if they go to jail. You felt guilty for a number of years over what happened, but you've never, felt strong enough to talk to the police. Now is the time. Go get 1.2 million and maybe get a waiver. Maybe get you'll get excused from any charges maybe. Maybe you could work that deal with them and be like, hey, I'll tell you what I know, but I want to be indemnified from charges. So, all right, let's play the rest of what he has to say.
This may encourage people to come forward. I say it should. Now is the time to come forward. Now is the time to give the police the information about these murders. The family of Melissa and Rosemary deserve answers, and they deserve to recover the remains of Melissa, and they can move on with their lives and lay them to rest peacefully. Please come forward.
Not the greatest public speaker. I always wonder why they choose certain people to do the videos, but they always seem like actual cops and not media personalities, which is because they are. Sean said, but she could be alive. I don't think so. I don't think they think she's alive. I think she died shortly after her mum, and I think the cops think that too. I think they think after 25 years and she's never come forward, there's never been any hint that she's alive, no one's registered under that name, no one's claimed anything, government assistance, medical, anything like that under either Trussell or Brown, the last name. So I think they believe she's dead. They just don't know where she is. Andrew said he sounds like Shane Gillis, Australian accent. He does a little bit. Rachel said, I hope they find her. Very sad. It is very sad. This case, like I said, is sort of hung around in the background of Australian crime. If you watch any type of Australian true crime, this one often comes up about the mother and daughter. And to have this sort of update now, the big thing to me is that they believe it's multiple people. That, like I said, I don't think that's ever been fully confirmed. I think they've sort of hinted at it a few times, but never actually confirmed it. Here, let me take you out to Channel 9. This was earlier this year where they talked about the case.
This evening, it's a cold case that has been brought back into the spotlight. Major crime detectives revisiting the murder of Rosemary Brown and her daughter, Melissa Trussell.
Tonight, a former police diver speaks exclusively to 9 News, telling of his role in the investigation while supporting this fresh search for answers.
Peter Menz spent over 3 decades below the surface helping solve some of the state's biggest murder cases, but it's this unsolved one 25 years ago at Garden Island that he'll never forget.
It was a request from Port Vixen 10 to assist with a body badly decomposed female.
The retired police diver was among those first on scene tasked with retrieving the body of Rosemary Brown from the mangroves in 2000. The mother and her 15-year-old daughter, Melissa Trussell, seen here at an unrelated incident, had been missing for weeks.
We went in there and there was other police officers there as well, forensics and crime scene, I should say.
A crime scene was immediately set up, Peter hoping they'd locate the missing teenager too, but Melissa has never been found.
We were there for a while. We had a bit of a look around because it was dark. We couldn't do a proper search that night because of the lighting.
In the past month, major crime detectives have revisited the cold case, conducting a number of searches around Garden Island, hoping to finally find Melissa's remains and those responsible for the murder of the mother and daughter. Peter says at the time they did a thorough search here on Garden Island, but 25 years on, technology and tactics have changed, and he welcomes the recent searches.
I think it's very good because we all like to see closure, and for the family especially.
He's now waiting, along with many others, for a breakthrough.
Obviously, they've got some good information and hopefully this case will be solved.
Keziah Sullivan, 9 News.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've got some very good information. I just don't think they've quite got enough. It's like, you know, those cases that we see in true crime where they're like an inch away from it, but an inch feels like a mile. It definitely feels like they just need that bridge. They just need that one bit of information that unravels the rest of it. Like they've sort of got to a point, they sort of understand the majority of what happened in this particular case, but they just can't get to they can't get over that last hurdle. And I feel like that's the sort of language they've been using, and they've just not been able to quite get there. Sean said sharks may have taken it. Possibly. There is definitely sharks at Garden Island in South Australia. So yeah, that is the update. They want to highlight those vehicles. If anyone saw them around that area or knows of any connection to the crime, they want them to speak out. I can put them back on the screen again. It's these 2 vehicles. Like I said, they believe one was painted black not too long after the 2 of them went missing. So these 2, if you know anything about them, call in to Crime Stoppers and let them know. Let them know what you know about it. Gus, no new info? Yeah, there's no new info on Gus. I don't know what's going to happen in that one, but there's been no updates really. No updates for Gus, unfortunately. All right. All right. All right. Let's keep going. I have some other stories that we want to talk about, not about these two. If I can get them going. All right. All right. So we want to do an update in Anna Kepner. So if you don't know who Anna Kepner is the teenager found dead on a Carnival cruise ship. Now, there were some court documents released yesterday that hinted at who might be involved in Anna's death. And apparently it was her mum seeking not to testify in any court action because it might self-incriminate her. And they're saying it's because another juvenile in her care might be charged with a criminal offense. So could be a brother. The brother is what I've heard, and I'm going to play you this. So this is about the funeral for her, but I'll show you the court documents after.
Our church prepares to welcome family, friends, and more in the community to celebrate the life of the Brevard County 18-year-old who died on a cruise ship. I'm your Titusville community correspondent, James Sparvero. In the last 2 weeks, from Anna Kepner's neighborhood,
what happened to this poor girl,
to her school where Anna's car became a memorial,
it just makes my heart melt.
I've been working to report how much of an impact the Temple Christian School senior had on her community.
Her faith in God was really present.
That faith-based community extends to the Grove Church, where, in the words of her family who wrote Anna's obituary, the community will remember Anna with laughter, color, sunshine, and love.
It is stepbrother. If he is involved, that is disturbing that this sibling, even if it's a half sibling, would be able to kill her somehow, wrap her up, put life jackets on her, and stow her away underneath a bed, and think that it's really bizarre. Yeah, wrapped her up in a blanket, I believe, put life vests on top of her, and then stowed her away underneath, thinking that no one would ever find his stepsister. It is very strange, and no wonder the FBI got involved. I'm just trying to grab a different update for you. Yeah, here, this one.
In the death of a Florida teenager aboard a Carnival cruise ship. According to a new court filing, the FBI may be looking at one of her step-siblings in connection with the investigation. NBC's Jesse Kirsch joins us now from Port Miami. Jesse, good morning.
Craig, good morning. When that Carnival cruise ship returned to this port, the FBI responded to the scene. But nearly 2 weeks later, the Miami-Dade medical examiner still has not announced Anna Kepner's cause of death. Meanwhile, new details are potentially emerging.
This morning, the mystery deepening around the tragic death of a teenager aboard a cruise ship. 18-year-old Anna Kepner died on the Carnival Horizon ship earlier this month. The case gaining national attention. And now a document tied to some of Kepner's family coming to light. NBC News has obtained a filing from this week by an attorney for the teen's stepmother, Chantel Hudson, in an ongoing unrelated case about Hudson's past marriage. The attorney writing, an extremely sensitive and severe circumstance has arisen.
So I've seen this document too, in full. And the document lays out a bunch of things about how she wants to postpone any hearings because of what's going on right now with Anna. And it lists it here. I'm just trying to find out. Yeah, so court filings confirm that Anna's stepbrother, who apparently can't be named because he's a minor, now faces possible criminal charges. Apparently, he's currently in the care of an unnamed third party, and they're saying here that the boy's anxious father is demanding urgent clarification of what is happening to his son. According to this article, Thomas Hudson is also seeking immediate custody of their other minor child, a 9-year-old girl who's currently living in Titusville, Florida. And they're saying here the respondent took the remaining minor children on a cruise with a stepchild of her paramour. The 16-year-old child is now a suspect in the death of the stepchild during the cruise. While released from custody, the 16-year-old child is residing with a third party. Brutal. Really, really brutal. The filing adds the 16-year-old's future has been put in jeopardy because of the choices made by the respondent. The youngest child is at immediate risk of abuse, abandonment, and neglect in the care of the respondent. Crazy. Apparently, the mother filed a response late on Tuesday denying allegations that she abused, neglected, or abandoned any of her children. And she added, "It is true that there is an open investigation regarding the death of the biological daughter of the stepfather, and the boy is a suspect regarding this death, which occurred recently on a cruise ship." What the hell? What the hell? Why? There's a lot to unpack here. A lot to unpack here about it. To murder your stepsister, I find that bizarre. I find that really bizarre. Trisha talked about this. Yeah, I think I told them about the document yesterday. I wasn't on yesterday, so you guys have to play catch up with Ping because I wasn't here to give it to you yesterday when it happened. I just wanted to do it because we followed it from the beginning of it. I mean, we've heard of siblings killing, their siblings before, but on a cruise ship, I want to know where does that why then? Why on a cruise ship? And I have some very awful questions that I'd like to ask. And one of them is, and it's really awful that we have to ask these type of questions. Was there any essay of her, of Anna? And it's one of the only sort of motives that I can think of here is that it could be essay related. And if you don't know, there's been a rise in the corn world of stepsister, stepbrother, stepfather, stepchild, brother, sister type things over the last 10 years. And when I see this type of case, I worry that it's related to that somehow. This type of content is warping the mind of young people into thinking that, that's a perfectly normal thing that happens in a family home. So it is one of the questions that I would like answered. Partially dressed? I hadn't heard that she was partially dressed. Let's see. Let's see what else I can find. 'Cause I'd not heard that, but that's what I was wondering. Yeah, her body was found wrapped in a blanket and stuffed under a bed. And they're saying onboard security camera footage apparently captures her final steps heading back to the room on November 6th after complaining during dinner that she felt unwell. She was sharing the cabin with her 14-year-old brother and 16-year-old stepbrother, with the two boys sleeping in bunk beds and Anna in her own bed. The boys headed back to the room later that evening, but the younger brother changed his clothes and went out again to take snapshots of the $800 million ship to post on social media. When he got back, he noticed Anna wasn't in the bed, but presumed she was staying up late with the grown-ups, and he went to sleep. It wasn't until the next day when the brother and stepbrother got up and headed to breakfast that the family realized that the bubbly teen was missing. I'm trying to find where this is quoted. Hold on. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see that, but yeah, I think it's very creepy, and the fact that a stepbrother could be part of it is I don't know. Where do we go from here in true crime? Is there anything left to like sort of shock us all? I really ask because I feel like we've sort of seen everything now. It's like everything we could ever see, we've done it. I'm just trying to see if we can get a quote for what was put in chat. Yeah, two sources who spoke on condition of anonymity say a maid eventually found the pretty youngster wrapped in a blanket, covered over with life jackets, and stuffed under the bed. We know that. The Miami-Dade County Medical Examiner listed Anna's time of death as 11:17 a.m. on November 7 without specifying where or how it happened. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. 11 a.m. in the morning. Doesn't sound right to me. Yeah, I can't find a quote for that, but Trisha said it. Well, it's obviously true then. I mean, she does work as a medical examiner on TV. Gail said, "I'm sorry, but at 16, that's too old to share a room with a female." Yeah, I would agree. I would think that it's a touch too old to be sharing with other. Well, I think girls could share together. Like I remember growing up that at that age, in travel situations, if there were like teenage boys and teenage girls both on the same trip, the boys stayed with the boys and the girls stayed with the girls, and that's sort of the way they did it. But I mean, I don't know other families. And in her brain, what's in her brain? Oh, you mean Trish's? Yeah, okay. Gail said, "Where was the younger sister?" I don't know, but they're saying here that the younger boy went out. So the only two people left in the room were the older stepbrother and Anna, which is it's the only thing I can think of is that there's a sexual motive here. And it's horrible that we automatically go to that. But yeah, there's been a really bad rise of what I described to you earlier, and it's I was wondering when we would see it rear its ugly head in some sort of true crime case, and it seems like we may be there. Yeah, I'll take you to another update over here that was a few hours ago from Fox 35 in Orlando.
Files point to a stunning twist.
It's just horrific to think about.
The FBI is now eyeing a teen stepbrother for her death. Why experts say an arrest could be close. Developing story right now, the 16-year-old stepbrother of Anna Kepner is now a suspect in her death. That's according to new court documents. Kepner is that teenager from Titusville who died on board a Carnival cruise ship. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Brown.
And I'm Luann Sorrell. Those civil court documents say Kepner's stepbrother has now been removed from his home because he could be a threat to his other siblings. Fox 35's Esther Bauer is live tonight in Brevard County. So, Esther, you've been digging through these documents all day. What else have you learned?
Luann, those documents say it's also believed this 16-year-old stepbrother already has a lawyer. What's clear tonight is the FBI thinks someone in Anna's own family that was on that cruise with her could be the reason she is not here today. Now, no one has been arrested or charged in Anna's death, but law enforcement experts we spoke with say that could change very soon. A cruise ship tragedy takes a turn for the worst.
What Anna might have suffered is just horrific to think about.
New court documents say the FBI believes Anna Kepner's 16-year-old stepbrother is a suspect in her death. Retired FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer says these new documents show the FBI does not think Anna's death was an accident.
Now we see the most important documents, which are court documents that show that this stepson is under investigation for the murder of Anna Kepner.
The new documents are part of an unrelated custody battle between Anna's stepmom and ex-husband. On Wednesday, we learned from these documents the 16-year-old under investigation is now living with a relative of his mother. The document also says it's believed an attorney has been hired to represent the 16-year-old.
I find it very, very interesting why the family seems to be galvanizing around that kid, and that's very what I find interesting. Hey, Miss Harmony, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. The uncle released the information. Okay. Miss Harmony said, not sure if this is just a rumor ping, but is David now a suspect? I don't think it's been confirmed. I think there's just been a lot of there's been two different places I've seen saying that their sources within the LAPD say that he is the basically sole interest in the death of Celeste, and that is TMZ and NBC LA. Those two apparently spoke to their own sources within the LAPD, and both got the same information. Although they make it very clear that they weren't able to double verify it. So what that means in media terms is normally you like to get the information from more than one person, so that you're getting like sort of a verification of what one person is telling you, and the other person is telling you the same thing. So they cross over, knowing that you're at least getting some sort of concrete internal information. It's not somebody just making stuff up. But each place said they couldn't double verify it. So someone from the LAPD is speaking from behind the scenes, saying David is basically the only person they're looking at. So we'll have to wait and see. Nothing official though. Nothing. There's no letterhead. There's no big press conference or anything. Just that he seems to be about the only person they've identified as having anything to do with it. So the quote I have before we go back to Anna is, David has been identified as a suspect in connection with the death of a 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, according to an LAPD source with direct knowledge of the investigation. And they also said they believe that Celeste was not killed in summer. They believe that she was killed back in the spring. So way before any of our timelines that we thought. We're all thinking like early August, late July. They're saying that they believe she was killed way back in like April or March or something like that. Way few months and months before what we thought. So there you go. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from Steve right now. Lindy said he made a crazy middle of the night trip. Yeah, so that's one of the things I was looking at, is a trip he made to Santa Barbara around that time, what I was describing before. Josh Ritter reported that. I don't know who Josh Ritter is. Don't ask me, I don't know. Not a couple of hours. They were saying several hours. They believe he stayed up there. Not one or two, several. Yeah. Police tell NBC that her death likely occurred in the spring, and that David likely had help in dismembering and disposing of her body. So they're saying they believe he had help. Someone helped him. And that he's not being cooperative in the investigation at all. Let me see here. I'm just trying to see if I can find that other bit. Yeah, I don't see it right now, but that's basically it. That they believe her death occurred in the spring of 2025, and that yeah, he took that trip out too. So, um, I want to know what's taking so long on toxicology, because it seems like we just don't seem to be getting any sort of cause of death, manner of death, that type of thing. I think we all believe that she couldn't have dismembered herself, and that most likely it is definitely a homicide. But what is the manner of death? So that's manner of death, homicide. What is the cause of death, or what killed her? Basically, that's what we will be wondering about. Gail said, "I thought I seen somewhere. I thought she was seen somewhere with him. Several places." Danny said, "That's what I heard on STS tonight last April." Yeah, they believe in the spring. So way before any of our timelines. Like we were talking like late July. Nah, they believe it was months earlier than that. So you have to ask, if it was back in the spring, where did they put her body? Has it always been in that Tesla? If it hasn't been always in that Tesla, where was it? You think in 4 months, that body, imagine 4 or 5 months, what would that body look like and smell like after that long? So where on earth if they kept it in that car for that long, I'm surprised more people didn't report it locally, because it would have reeked. It would have been really bad. Um, I think they have all of her. At least I believe so. Lindy said maybe some of her is near Santa Barbara. Could be. Because I know one of the initial reports that we got was that there was only a torso and a leg or something. So you might be right. You have to wait for the medical examiner report. Gail said that's sad. He had a new red Tesla he had been driving. That's gross. If he had been kept there in that thing for 5 months, no wonder. Yeah, horrible. Really is. That girl deserves more justice. She really does. And um, I hope we're going to get it, because it feels like she was let down by everyone, her own family, which there's a lot to discuss there. There's a lot, and I think that'll happen eventually. The people like David who were surrounding her, the government, child services, there is a lot of people who deserve a lot of like blame here. Guys, give me 1 second.
About the death of Celeste Rivas. She's the 15-year-old girl whose body was found in the front trunk of a Tesla that belonged to the pop singer David.
Yeah, you know, police say they now consider the singer a suspect in her death and say they have better information about when she may have died. Our investigative reporter Eric Linder joins us live from the newsroom with an update for us. Eric?
Hi, Michael and Colleen. Well, as we've been reporting, LAPD detectives from the Robbery Homicide Division have been working this case intensely ever since NBC4 broke the story that a body had been found by workers in a tow yard back in September. Well, now those detectives, we're told, are closer than ever to understanding what happened to this girl and when it happened and who may be responsible. A senior law enforcement source with direct knowledge of this case tells NBC4 Investigates they now believe 15-year-old Celeste Rivas died sometime in the spring. That happened months before her remains were found in the trunk of that Tesla on September 8th. And now the source also tells us that pop singer David is being considered a suspect in her death. Early on, a representative for the singer told us he was cooperating with police. Our law enforcement contacts are now telling us that was never true. David canceled a concert tour after the discovery of the body. Then he moved out of a rental house in the Hollywood Hills and has been staying in Texas. Celeste Rivas was last seen alive in Riverside County in April 2024. There's a memorial there, but her family has declined to talk with us about these most recent developments.
Her family deserves a lot of blame as well. There's a lot of things going on with that family that need clarification, and an explanation. And I don't know if we'll ever get it, but I hope we do. There's a lot of questions about how she came to not be in the family home and the timelines between her being away from the family home, back at the family home, at family gatherings, away from the family home, and these different police reports that were put in about her and where they line up with her and where she was. So a lot of misinformation, a lot of things that are not clear. The other thing is David, if he is in Texas, like they're saying in this news report, a couple of months ago, a month ago, he put a few properties that he owns into another person's name. I think that tells you everything you need to know. The fact that he transferred assets into another family member's name, I think he believes this investigation will eventually come down on him. You don't do that if you think you're not going to jail. Diane says, I agree, Ping. The parents know a lot more. 100%. Yeah, his mum. Yeah. So you don't do that if you don't think you're going to jail. That's what people do when they think they're going to prison. So someone can take care of their assets while they're not around, or they can't be sued for that property in like a settlement. So he was trying to get ahead of all of that very quickly. That's a very strange thing to do, only like 3 or 4 weeks after they discover her body. So we'll see what happens there. But I think we're getting closer. I think some people said that we were supposed to already have the toxicology by now. So it is a bit strange that we're almost out of November and we still don't have them. So we'll wait and see. Someone is advising him, possibly. Hey, Sean, how are you? Oh, by the way, I want to thank the people who continued to support the channel even while I was unwell and away, and through all the things with Mrs. Ping, because it's been a little up and down, even though for like 3 years I never missed a day. And for the last few months, I've had to miss days here and there and stuff like that. But you guys know I've done almost, 800, 900 live shows. I mean, I think people know that if I could be here every day, I would be. So I want to thank Sean. Thank you. Sean was, if I check my list here, Sean was every donation for the last week except for one person who has asked me not to name them. So I thank Sean for being very kind and very generous. You know, he tells me he does it in the hope that other people will also support the channel too. So he leads by example. So I appreciate it. It's very kind. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, so that's what I would say is the big news out of David, that I mean, I think we all thought that he was going to be the suspect in it. Who else was going to be the suspect? I mean, there was people talking about how it might be his bodyguard, and he might be a secondary player here. He may be charged with helping him dismember the girl or whatever, but the direct person who had this relationship with Celeste was David. I mean, we've seen the videos, we've seen her hiding in the background of stuff, we've seen live shows with her in it where she accuses him of crimes with children because she is a child. So a lot of different things that add up to basically him being the focal point of this investigation. There is nowhere else you can go with it, really isn't. That is the main information, though. I think is that. Look, the ABC in Australia even ran an article. Look, David is officially a suspect. Who is saying this? That's not official. Official means they've come out with a press conference and they're saying, he is a suspect. We are looking at him. Official does not mean we heard from a source and we're going to print it. That's not how that works. So ABC in Australia is talking absolute out of their ass. Yeah, David, real name David Anthony Burke, has officially been named a suspect. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Um, an LAPD source also told, so they're saying per NBC, the singer has not been cooperative with authorities. That is someone from the LAPD talking basically almost like off the record, and they're printing it. That is not a press conference. It has no letterhead. You don't have a department official coming out saying this is the way the direction is going. He is a suspect in our investigation. This is very almost like off the record, but they're able to print it as long as they don't use the name of the person who is telling them. So that is a very poor headline. Very poor headline saying officially. It's not officially. You can't say that just when you have a source of the LAPD that's talking basically off the record to you. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, I think if I remember yesterday, there was also an article that said internally, there's no document that states that he is a suspect, just that they are treating him as one internally. So again, you don't even have any documents or anything from the LAPD to say that he is one. The reporting is so sloppy. It's like everyone just wants the headline, but doesn't want to report the facts. Let's see. I want to try find that original article so I can show it to you. Is it this one? Yeah. Singer David is being investigated as a suspect in the death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. Yeah, again, according to TMZ, law enforcement sources are now investigating the singer as a potential suspect in the case. It reported one source claims the police investigation revealed that around the spring of 2025, David took a trip in the middle of the night to a remote area of Santa Barbara County and remained there for several hours. The report noted the matter was being tentatively treated as a possible homicide, though there is no official paperwork identifying Burke as a suspect, and authorities are still waiting on an official cause of death from the medical examiner. An LAPD insider later told NBC4 that the police believe Rivas likely died in the spring and that David likely had help in dismembering and disposing of the body. There's the actual quote. There's the actual quote for it. So like you just heard, I don't see anywhere here that says officially a suspect. I hear the words tentatively. I hear no official paperwork identifying Burke as a suspect. Authorities are still waiting on an official cause of death from the medical examiner. So I don't know where anyone gets official from that. But yeah, there you go. Miss Harmony, thank you so much for the super sticker and $10 Canadian. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Very kind. The BBC sucks too, do they? CNN also? Are there any good news channels out there, Sean? Are there any good ones? Yeah. Look, I feel like we're in the slow march on this one, and there's very little good information coming out. That one paragraph is probably the most information we've had on David and Celeste in like 8 weeks, maybe more. It's been very slow treading for the for this investigation anyway. I think we're slowly getting there. Slowly. But yeah, when I have more, I'll bring it to you. But right now, that's basically it. That's basically it. A little bit of a leak from the LAPD. So that's all you're getting. All right. Let's move on. I've had enough talking about David. There was another case that I wanted to talk to you about, and I've lost the link to it now. Aha, this is it. That's right. That's right. Now I remember. There's a woman who flew from the UK to Florida and wanted a guy to hurt her, wanted a guy to violently kill her, like murder her. And when she got to Florida, she backtracked and was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And the guy still killed her. And I wanted to talk to you about this story. I'm glad I remembered. You guys got to hear this. It is one of the craziest stories I think I've ever heard. Here.
Documents reveal a British woman agreed to pay a Marion County man thousands of dollars to torture and murder her. Investigators say the victim, Sonia Exelby, traveled from her home in England to Gainesville. They say she then met a man in Ocala. Her remains were later found in a wooded area of the Marion Oaks community back on October 13th. Investigative reporter Ashlyn Webb joining us live here in the studio. Ashlyn, you've been working on this story all night. The suspect originally told investigators he never met her.
Yes, but shortly after his story began to unravel, Dwayne Hall told investigators he met her online 2 years ago on what he described as a fetish site. He said he had a mentor-type relationship with her. He says he knew Exelby suffered from severe mental illness and wanted to help her. But investigators say instead he tortured her for days and then murdered her. New documents reveal what brought FDLE investigators to these woods in Marion County. That's now a crime scene. Investigators say they found multiple attempted charges to Sonia Exelby's card from Solvers Wolf's roadside assistance. Dwayne Hall is the company's sole employee. Hall told investigators Exelby tried to get roadside assistance, but when her card didn't go through, he never helped her. But quickly, his story changed, later admitting to investigators he's had an online relationship with Exelby for roughly 2 years, where they discussed bondage, suicide, and her desire to have someone kill her. Investigators say they searched Exelby's Airbnb in Marion County and found receipts in the trash for October 10th. All charges to Hall's card, showing Hall purchased a rope, gun cleaner, and a shovel. Purchases investigators say were all made just before the suspect admitted to picking up Sonia Exelby at the Gainesville airport. Hall says he had sex with Exelby, but he says she agreed to bring him $4,000 in cash. Instead, she gave him $1,200 from her card. He told investigators he was upset. FDLE recovered video off of Hall's phone that he recorded of Exelby, who investigators described as having multiple bruises, abrasions to her face and neck, visibly crying. Investigators say Hall asked on the video how she would want to die. She hesitated and said, to be stabbed. Investigators found messages Exelby is believed to have sent to her friend on a gaming app that FDLE says shows Hall was controlling her, that she was afraid and made a mistake. FDLE says Hall's phone records took them to the wooded area in Marion County off of Southwest 30th Terrace, where they found a grave and later remains belonging to Exelby.
So it's very sad. She had a boyfriend back in England. That guy is now devastated to learn that this is the way that a girl that he loved very much died, not in England and not, in a natural way, a very violent, awful way, to a point where she told someone online that she was scared and that she wanted to get out of it, that she'd had second thoughts about it. And this guy, a complete psychopath, really psychopath, what he did to her. Like you heard, there was a video that he produced and that she was all battered and bruised on the video, and asking her to comply with the torture and the beatings and how she could want to die and things like that. And the fact that she hesitated in her answer tells you that this was against her will, that she wanted to get out of it. Montana says, and they say she was mentally ill. Sounds like both and had done weirdish. It sounds like she sounds like she was a depressed individual, and she thought this would be a way out, but it's not. They're saying alarms were raised before her body was discovered because she failed to board a flight home to the UK. They're saying here An autopsy concluded she was fatally stabbed 4 times with a knife, and they're saying it's reported that Hall was recorded in jail calls telling his own wife to keep an eye out for a package from a friend in 6 months' time. This led to the discovery of Facebook messages that Hall allegedly sent from jail to the friend who lives in Ohio. He allegedly sent a knife stained with blood to a friend in Ohio to take care of and, basically keep away from authorities. They believe it is the murder weapon used to kill XB. Brutal, really brutal. Let me go back here. Yeah, authorities eventually obtained that package, which reportedly contained a knife stained with XLB's blood. Investigators said the Facebook messages Hall sent to the friend showed that Hall was controlling the woman, that she was afraid and had made a mistake in choosing to go to Florida and get involved in this situation. It's crazy. This girl, they're saying here, Hall eventually allegedly confessed to meeting Exelby on a fetish website 2 years earlier. He claimed that he was acting as a mentor to her and was trying to convince her not to kill herself. He reportedly also admitted to having sex with her at an Airbnb. Hall reportedly also stated he had some violent tendencies. Investigators recovered a video Hall deleted, which showed Hall asking Exelby, covered in bruises, why she was there. And she responded, because I'm an awful person, I've crushed everyone who's ever loved me. He made it clear that there was no way out. This is a message she sent to someone on Discord. He made it clear there was no way out unless I shoot him. I was questioning it last night. I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew. So she thought she'd fly to Florida. This guy would do what she asked, which was take her life. Instead, he beat and tortured her for a prolonged period, and she's saying that she had second thoughts about it after going through the abuse that he gave to her. Authorities in the United Kingdom said the woman was online looking for someone to do this last year, but she was stopped and underwent some mental health treatment at the time. But apparently, she allegedly went again and tried to find someone. This time, she ran into Hall, and unfortunately, now she is deceased. They're saying Hall was charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, credit card fraud, and unlawful use of a communication device. A judge denied bond earlier this week in court, and he'll be brought back to court at a later time. I don't know if it is a folie à deux. I think her questioning the situation and wanting to get out of it negates that particular psychological disorder. I think that only works when both of them are in the same frame of mind with the same delusions. It doesn't work if one of them wants to back out and get away from it. That's just a typical abusing relationship between two people. So I think she came into it with the idea that this is what she wanted, got so deep into it, and then realized that there was no way out. And yeah, it's a very sad ending for that girl. Very sad. Poor girl. But sounds like she'd had some problems for a number of years. But no one deserves to be treated like that. Even if that's what they wanted. I don't think she asked to be beaten and abused in her death. I think she was asking for someone to take mercy on her rather than what actually happened. Yeah, I saw this the other night and I was like, I have to tell you guys about it because it's one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. Yeah, I'll take you to Fox 35 Orlando.
Woman flies to Florida to be murdered on purpose. It's the wild investigation that has detectives asking a whole lot of questions. And Marion County investigators call it the most bizarre murder case they've ever seen. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. It was a murder for hire plot, but here's the twist. She allegedly hired the hit on herself. And investigators say the woman flew halfway around the world to Central Florida to be tortured and killed. And this man allegedly took her up on the offer. Fox 35 was the only TV news crew in court this morning when Dwayne Hall went before a judge. Investigators say Hall murdered her and then dumped her body in the woods. Fox 35's Marie Ettinger is live on that story tonight. So, Marie, detectives say the woman from the UK paid the suspect. This is such a bizarre case.
It really is. Hall told investigators he was supposed to get $4,000 for this crime, but that he'd actually only gotten $1,200 in the end. He told investigators he was upset about that. The FDLE says a woman in the United Kingdom posted on a fetish website looking for someone to abuse and kill her. Dwayne Hall? And that this man took her up on the offer. Dwayne Hall is now facing charges for homicide and kidnapping in a case a former detective called bizarre and unthinkable. What were your thoughts when I called you about this case?
You know, my first thought was, wow, I literally have been in this business 30 plus years. I have never heard anything close to what you had explained to me.
According to court documents, Hall told investigators he met Sonia Exelby online a couple years ago. The FDLE says Exelby flew from England to Gainesville on October 10th. Hall picked her up and drove her to an Airbnb Exelby had reserved in Reddick. Investigators say they found video on Hall's phone taken the next day, showing Exelby covered in cuts and bruises, with audio of Hall demanding Exelby verbally give consent to be stabbed. Detectives found messages Exelby sent a friend over Discord that day, expressing regret.
Yeah, horrific story. Really is. Hey, hello. What's up? Give you a high five. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, FDLE was made aware of a possible attempt by Exelby while she was in the United States to reach out to a friend online through Discord. Discord, they explained it's an online application. This message appeared to come from Exelby's account sometime on October 11th. The message was long and at times disjointed. It started by saying, "I'm sorry he keeps taking my phone. He doesn't trust me with it." Then she writes, "He made it clear there's no way out unless I shoot him. I was questioning it last night." And she says, "I can't kill anyone." She went on to write that last night was so bad and that he's in the shower, but I'm locked in and there's no signal in the middle of nowhere. So she's saying no mobile signal. She also writes, "I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew and realize this is the last thing I'll ever say to anyone if I don't take his offer of shooting him. He showed me about to use it and where to aim it." She's talking about a firearm. Apparently Hall showed her the firearm and how to use it and where to point it and kill him. She ends the message by writing, "I am so scared. I am so broken. I'm in so much pain. All I can do is lay here, and doing what he wants makes him respect me enough not to do the things I really hate. Everything but some are. I'm sorry. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm trying to be quick, and my time's up." The message indicated that the person who she was with wouldn't let her leave, and that the same person always had a gun on him. Exelby did not name the person, but said he told her that the only way out is for her to kill him. Additionally, in this message, Exelby said this person made her record 3 disclaimer videos and write a letter to her family because it thought it would be funny. So he put her through like all this. This is just a snapshot of what she went through before he finally stabbed her to death and then dumped her body in a shallow grave in Florida. Oh, yeah. I mean, and you think this guy was just around for 50 years of, life in Florida. I wonder, does he have any more victims? Because I just struggle with comprehending, could he just pick up a girl from the airport and do this to her, having never done it to anyone else before? Has he killed anyone before? Because he seemed so easy to do it. Just stabbed her 4 times and dumped her in a shallow grave. It seems all far too easy. he didn't even seem to care that much. So I wonder, like, has anyone come across this guy in Florida, and does he have a past record? That's something we've not been told, whether he has any prior convictions for this type of thing. His name is Dwayne Hall. He's 53, and I can't find any previous records for him. Yeah, I can't find any previous write-up about it. Here's a photo of the two people involved, Hall and Exelby. There's the two of them. It is a pretty crazy story. That's why when I read it, I put it on my links, and I was like, when I'm on, I have to tell you guys about it because, I mean, I've just never heard of anything like this. So brutal, really brutal. That poor girl, what she went through in her final days. Like, she told that friend that she was so sore from the beatings that all she could do is lie there, and she couldn't get up. She couldn't do anything. Really, really horrible. Let's see. Dwayne Hall, 53. Let's see if we can find anything else about Mr. Dwayne Hall. Yeah, I'll check one other source for it. Not only that, he tried to get her credit card after he killed her and tried to charge it to take money off her card. Like a final, kick to her after he killed her. Oh, really? So, in talking to authorities, he described the sex that he had with the victim as vanilla and consensual, though he initially told the police that he didn't want to have sex with the victim because he is married. Hall also told officers that while he used to have violent tendencies, they had gone away when his wife became ill over the summer. I'm sorry, so what happened to them? Like, what were you doing with these violent tendencies before your wife got ill? What happened then? I want to know more about that. They're saying investigators say digital evidence contradicts Hall's claims that his behavior was consensual. A deleted video on Hall's phone that's more than 4 minutes long allegedly shows the victim disheveled and covered in bruises and abrasions. And he says to her, "This is how you want to die, right?" Hall can be heard asking her in the video, "You want to be beaten and made to suffer because you're such a piece of shit." While Hall told police that Exelby had left with an unknown man, it's always the unknown man. Every time they're always like, "Oh, I saw them leave in a car with an unknown man." There's always the unknown man. Apparently, he told police that she had left with an unknown man in a tan Cadillac Eldorado. Detectives found evidence telling a different story. Her remains were found buried in a wooded area of Marion County, and blood on a newly purchased shovel in Hall's possession matched Exelby's DNA. Police say they found the murder weapon thanks to a phone call between Hall and his wife after his arrest, where he said to look out for a package from a friend in Ohio. Investigators say Hall mailed a package to his friend containing a 7-inch Tanto knife designed for piercing and stabbing. Her DNA was also found on that knife, and he's next in jail December 23rd. So he'll be in court December 23rd. We will find out more then about what's going to happen in the future. I'm guessing her body will be taken back to England at some point. He had a wife, apparently. Had a wife. Yes, he owns Solver Wolf's, whatever that means. Roadside assistance, whatever that means. Solver. Which, if you ask me, is he like the creepy guy that abducts women from the side of the road when they call for, like, when their car breaks down? I mean, he is like the embodiment of every creepy story about driving on a road we've ever heard of. I'm just trying to find more. Let's check his Yelp. He has a Yelp thing. Let's see what people have to say about him. Oh, there's a photo of him. There's a photo of Dwayne H right here. And someone, Jessica, female, says, "This guy was so rude for absolutely no reason. I told my warranty company not to send him to me again. He seems like someone who can become irate and aggressive easily. He spoke aggressively over everything, including a single text that I sent inquiring about the time of service. As someone who has worked in mental health for several years and has a history of DV victimization, I was not comfortable being around this guy at all." Dwayne replies, "I am open to suggestions on how not to seem so rude. I have read all of your reviews, and to be fair, it's the first time I have had anyone say that." I don't know, buddy. You just killed a woman, and you're in the national news for beating and abusing her. Jessica from San Francisco in California seems to have the right idea. Whoever Jessica is, if we can ever track her down, she's got the best sort of intuition ever. She picked up on this guy instantly. Jessica may have foretold what was going to happen in the future because she had it down pat. That she has a history of DV and could see it in this guy a mile coming. And then he says down here, "I have read all your reviews." Why would you read all her reviews? For what reason? Oh, hold on. Bye. All right, sorry. Mrs. Ping is heading out somewhere. Um, yeah, Jessica has good instincts. If we can find her, I think she'd be able to tell us a lot more about her interactions with Dwayne. Very interesting that she was able to pick it up. Diane says, "Yes, when someone shows you who they are, believe them." She picked up. I'm very impressed by her, like, how she was able to nail this guy, like, instantly after dealing with him, including telling her insurance company not to send him anymore to her. And he's so creepy. "I'm open to suggestions on how not to seem so rude." And it's just this bit, "I have read all your reviews." Like some sort of obsessive stalker. Like saying, like, "I've read all your reviews and you have pretty hair." Okay, he didn't say that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. And he says, "To be fair, it's the first time I've had anyone say that." Well, buddy, we caught you out now. Oh, there's another girl. Vera S saying, "Never showed up. Told VW that they couldn't find me when I talked to them twice and they knew exactly where I was. Don't trust them. They lie. Never again." Although Wanda had a good experience. Louise did. Okay, that's all he has. He doesn't have any more. But Jessica M from San Francisco, she's only ever written one review, and it was about Dwayne. Never wrote anything else on Yelp after this one review. She had to make an account just to talk about Dwayne. Very creepy. Espion said, "Creepy keyword show lying honestly, to be fair, without asking." I think it's the I've read all your reviews. Why would you stalk her profile like that? That doesn't seem creepy at all. I'm sure that's how on dating apps, you go to the woman, you said, "I've read every page of your profile." I'm sure that won't scare them at all. I'm sure they'll love to go on a date with you. This guy, I think we're gonna find out a lot more about Dwayne. I think we're gonna find out a lot more about what happened before Sonia. Before Sonia Exelby, I think we're going to find out a lot more about this guy. I don't think that's his first victim. I just can't see it. Cannot see it. And the fact, this beautiful young girl, right? Here she is. Beautiful young lady. And this, whatever this is, this troll of a man. And he's like, I didn't want to have sex with her. Really? You're like, oh, because I have a wife. One, I don't think she was giving it up freely for you anyway. And two, I don't think you were turning it down if she did want to give it to you. So this whole, oh, I didn't want to have consensual sex with her, but you know, I'm such a gentleman, I did it anyway. I don't buy it. I don't think the cops bought it either. And according to his cell phone records, it wasn't consensual anyway. I'm surprised he didn't get done with any SA charges because according to the court documents, he had sexual interactions with her several times while she was being kept by him. Diane said, "Sorry, but if this guy showed up to tow my car, his looks alone would scare me." I know, right? Marylander said, "Not the first time." I don't think it's his first time either. One of the creepiest stories I've ever read in true crime, this guy. And we've read a lot of stories, eh? We've read thousands. And this guy is freaking weird. Dwayne Hall, the creepy tow truck driver. Could you imagine being you're a female, you're driving alone on a Florida highway late at night, and your car breaks down. And Dwayne Hall approaches your car at 1:30 a.m. in the morning. Are you getting home or not? Something tells me you may end up in a ditch, in a shallow grave somewhere, something like that. Yeah, Florida. He's from Florida. Yep. Gayla says dark lonely road, no thanks. Yeah. Diane says she looks young enough to be his daughter. I think she could be at her age. She was very young. Sonia Exelby. How old was she? I think she was only in her late 20s. She was 32. He was 53. So, yeah, it could have been. He could very easily be his daughter. Marylander says out of a horror movie, right? And then we hear that he's gone and kept a woman captive in his home. That's the only way you can talk about it. He kept her captive. He basically had a hostage for a period of time until he finally decided to end her suffering and stab her to death. So, a really horrible man, a very sad end to Sonia's life. And even if she was S word, that that doesn't sort of excuse what happened to her at all. Let's see here. So her remains were found in Marion Oaks, Florida, and that she died from stab wounds to her body, unfortunately. In writings allegedly left on her computer in England, Exelby indicated she was S word and traveling to the USA to be essayed, tortured, and possibly murdered. That's what she said on her computer. She allegedly connected with various people in the US in furtherance of her apparent mission. British investigators also found evidence of an S-word letter she wrote where she anticipated being mutilated and disabled for the rest of my life in the event that she manages to get to him. Authorities identified Hall as a suspect after tracing him to an account that allegedly attempted to transfer money from Exelby's bank account several times since October 11th. And they're saying during a voluntary interview with police on October 17, Hall allegedly gave several inconsistent accounts about his interactions with Exelby, initially claiming he did not know her, before eventually admitting that he had sex with her several times and discussed her. I can't say these things, unfortunately, but I'm going to put them in the chat. But apparently he discussed these topics with her. So I can't say those words. But yeah. Hall allegedly said if he had to help her, he would bring Exelby to Alligator Alley, where wildlife would have taken care of her. What is he, Dexter? He's been watching too much Dexter, I think, because that's what Dexter did. He declined to answer when asked if he killed Exelby, but said she's happy now because she got what she wanted. I don't know if she did. I don't know if she got what she wanted at all. I think she was a very confused young woman who was very mentally ill, unfortunately. So, a very sad end to her life. Yeah, I fully agree that this guy most likely has a history with other women. I guarantee it. You know what we saw on the Yelp page alone, a woman he doesn't know, and she already says those things about her, so about him. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Mamma Mia, how are you? Good to see you guys. I think that's it. I think that's our last story for tonight. We've been on almost 2 hours talking about various topics for tonight. It was good to be back. It was nice to be back doing a live show after being so unwell for like a week or so. I hope to be back to being shows every day again over the next few days as I get a bit more better and better. And we'll be back. We'll be back doing more live shows. Hey, I love you all very much. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, Miss Harmony. Thank you for the to the PayPal for Sean. It's very kind of you. Thank you very much. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow for more true crime. We're going to keep the border. I like the border. It's a lot of fun. So we might keep this for the holiday, for Thanksgiving, and we're going to keep it. All right. I'll be back tomorrow. Love you all. Peace out. Good night, everyone. Have a great Thursday tomorrow for all of you. Good night, everyone. Bye.